Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Diana, and I am here to share new content with you today. So, as you can see, we are in my kitchen, okay? Today, one of the things that I want to do is share with you some of the things that are in my refrigerator. We're going to go in there. I'm going to show you some items that I like to eat and why I eat them, okay? So you can either add them to your healthy journey or not. I'm just giving you some suggestions, okay? Now, the last time we were here, I was talking to you about macro counting and intermittent fasting, and I also spoke to you a little bit about portion size. And I was just encouraging you to try to implement this in your healthy lifestyle so that you can live the best life that you were meant to live, okay? So, as I thought about it a little bit more, I thought about a really funny story, something that happened to me, just to let you know that I get it. I get how hard it can be. I get how, it's hard to stay the course and be consistent and be patient with it. It can be hard. It can be hard. And I'm there with you, okay? So I just have a funny story about that. So let's get into it. So one day, my daughter was auditioning for Oliver. And any of you that know about Oliver, it's a great storyline. I was quite excited that she wanted to audition for it. And so she decided, yep, I'm going to go ahead and audition for this. And I had to drop her off in the morning. I want to say about like maybe 9 o'clock. And then I had to go and pick her up at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that day I was fasting. And let me tell you, when I know that I am fasting and that I also have other activities to do throughout the day, I really have to like pump myself up, encourage myself, walk around with my water bottle, eat ice as though it's food. Okay. And so that day I was just pumping myself up. I was like, I got this. Yes, it's about the 12th hour. I can do it. I forgot for how many hours I was fasting at that point, but I know that it was well into the day, well into the fasting period that I had to go and pick up my daughter from this audition. So I'm walking into the school. I've got my son with me and my water bottle, and I'm walking in and I'm like, yeah, I got this. Yes. Look how many hours have gone by, and I'm still ticking and I'm still doing what I need to do, So I'm pumping myself up, talking to myself like, yeah, you only have about 3 more hours or so. You got this, you could do it. And look, you've got entertainment coming your way. Because at the end of the audition day, they had invited the parents along with the guardians to come back and see what the kids had done for the day. So they were going to do like somewhat of a rendition of Oliver. So I walk in and I'm like, all right, So I sit down with my son, and the person who was in charge goes up front and she goes, okay, parents, we thank you so much for having your children, for dropping off your children today. And they have done such a remarkable job. And you are in for a treat right now. You're in for a treat because they did such an amazing job throughout the entire day, and you're going to love what you see. So I'm sitting back and I'm like, this is great. Yeah, I've got this distraction before me, good distraction, and I'm not going to have to think about food or anything like that. I'm excited for my daughter. I know this was something that she really wanted to do, and I can tell that the other children were really excited as they started just running to their parents and their guardians and so on and so forth. It was just great. There was lots of excitement and a lot of energy in the room. So I was excited to be there. So I sit down and I'm like, all right, yeah. And then she goes, all right, now, without further ado, I present to you Oliver. And do you know what happens next? I mean, I really can't make this stuff up. Do you know that they start singing? And let me tell you what they start singing, okay? All of a sudden, someone comes on the stage, and it's about more than one of them, and they all on the stage, and they've got their looks and their arms up, and they go, food, glorious food, hot sausage and mustard, la, 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 la. And I'm like, no! Why are you singing about food? Hello, I am on a fast. Okay, like, no, from the parking lot to the auditorium, I had already pumped myself up, okay? Thought about how I was going to have my mind off of food, and here they're saying about food, glorious food. And I just want to say, no, food is not glorious until 3 hours have passed. It was bananas. I had no idea that they were going to be singing that. And so I just kind of like sat back in my seat, all slumped and like, I can't believe they're singing this. And it was repetitive. I mean, it was great. They did a wonderful job. But I was just like, no, like this cannot be life right now. So I get it, guys. You might go to the parties and there might be food, glorious food there, and you may not be able to touch it if, you had a particular plan for you not to eat or you're intermittent fasting at that point in time. I get it. It's hard, but nothing in this life that is worth, right, living any kind of goals that you may have, they're always going to be hard, right? So anything worth having is going to be hard, right? Having being in great health, right? And living a life of just, goodness and being well is going to be hard. That's what I want to let you know today. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. So please continue on with the course, because at the end of it all, you'll see why you continued on. Okay. And then this is the other part I want to tell you. Okay. This is the other part. To add insult to injury, the play is done. My daughter did her part and everything else. And she runs up to me and she's like, hey, Mom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you did such a wonderful job. I'm proud of you. And I'm like, sort of looking down at my son, like, didn't she do a good job? And, and her brother's like, yeah, you did such a wonderful job and all this stuff. And I go, so are you going to take the part? Are you going to do it? And she goes, nah, I'm not interested in Oliver. I mean, it was great for the day, but I don't see myself doing that. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. So I'm like, wait a minute. I just sat through food, glorious food, hot sausage and mustard for nothing? Oh no, you're gonna be part of this play. I don't care if you are part of the stage crew. You're gonna do something in this play. Obviously I can't force her, but it was just like, wait, so I just sat through this whole thing and you're not even going to, participate? What? But such is life, right? That's life for you. That's life for you. So I just want to encourage you. I just want to share that really just funny story with you, because that's how it's going to go sometimes. You're going to have this plan, that has to do with your wellness, and sometimes it gets bumped, and sometimes you might have some surprises and you just have to deal with it, right? So that you can get to your end goal. All right. So with that said, we are going to get into my refrigerator. All right, let's get into this RR. RR stands for refrigerator review, okay? So I'm going to open up my refrigerator. I'm going to show you what's in there. I already took a quick scan, and I think there are about maybe 7 to 8 items that I want to show to you today. And if you want to use them, go ahead and purchase them. If not, these are just ideas, okay? So here we go. So at first glance, when you take a look at my refrigerator, you will see that it's just a regular refrigerator with food in it. It's not necessarily organized in any particular way. The only thing that I would say is that I do like to have my fruits and my vegetables in this drawer here and in this drawer, because I notice that my fruits don't get old really quick, and I notice that my vegetables don't wither so quickly. So that's what those drawers are supposed to be used for. So I use them accordingly. I use them the way that I should. But aside from that, I just, I find a space, and I put food in there. That's it. So let's get into the first item. First thing that I want to show you is kombucha, okay? This is what it looks like. I hope you can see it. This particular kombucha is by GT, Okay, this is GT's kombucha. I really like this. The one thing about kombucha that's really good is that it has live culture in it. And if you know about live culture and drinking it, you know that it's really good for your gut. The reason you should really be paying attention to your gut is because it really assists within your digestive system. Okay, so when you think about your gut, you should be thinking about your digestive system and how it really aids whatever it is that, whatever foods that you consume, like kombucha, that is really good for your gut. It's also really good for your digestive system. So that's one of the reasons why you might want to look into it. I really like the Mystic Mango. That's one of the first ones that I like to buy. One of the other ones I like to get too is Cosmic Cranberry, and it's by GT as well. And then the other name brand that I like of kombucha is Health Aid, okay? You've probably seen this before. And let me tell you, I get this one, the Health Aid and the GT from Walmart, okay? So you don't have to go to any of those like fancy health stores to purchase it. You can just go into your Walmart. If you have, you know, a Walmart that actually sells groceries, and you can purchase it from there, all right? So that was one of the first things I wanted to show you. The other item I wanted to show you is this, okay? Take a look, take a look. All right, so in Haitian Creole, this is called pickles, okay? I was trying to figure out what would the translation be in terms of the name, like from cuisine to cuisine, you know, from culture to culture. What would this be? And the closest thing that I can come up with is pickled vegetables, okay? Pickled vegetables. Let me tell you why I really, really like this. First off, there's tons of vegetables in here. It's just all chopped up, okay? I normally use the food processor to make this, and it has cabbage in here. There are 3 different types of peppers, sweet peppers. So I use the red, I use the yellow, I use the green, I use the orange. There's all, you know, I just use a whole like different types of like colors, okay, of the red, of the sweet pepper. And I put it within the food processor. What else do I use? I also use peppers, okay? So you could use a habanero pepper, you could use a Scotch bonnet pepper, you could even use a jalapeno pepper if you want, okay? It's all up to you in terms of like how spicy you want this to be. But pickles is, let me pull it out again. So pickles is pretty cool because you can put this on your fish, you can put this on your meat, you can put this on your rice, you can put this on plantains. I mean, it's so good. It's just an added touch to a food, and it boosts up anything that you might be eating. You could almost eat it with anything. I really like it, and my family really likes it. Sometimes it's hard to get my kids to eat veggies, so sometimes I'll say, "Hey, you want some pickles?" You know, on top of whatever it is that they're eating, and normally they do say yes because they enjoy it as well. So pickles is definitely a really good way of getting your veggies in. Also, I just remembered there's also slices of carrots in here as well. So it's cabbage, it's carrots, it's different types of sweet peppers, and I'm trying to figure out what else would be in here. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that is it. That's all in our pickles. In the same vein, take a look. This in Haitian Creole is called épis, okay? I'm trying to think about the translation. So these are just spices. That's what I'll say. These are spices. This is what you would put in any of your meals that you're creating as your base. It's your starter, okay? So if I'm making meat, I actually would probably take this and rub it into my meat. It just gives it another boost, another flavor, and it's cooked in. So what I normally do is with meat, I will first, you know, clean my meat, and then after cleaning my meat and steaming it, it's just what Haitian people do. We clean our meat with limes. We clean our meat with vinegar, and then we steam our meat, and then we finally put the spices on top. Okay, so this is one of the things that I like to make and have in my refrigerator as my starter. So what happens is I put this at the base, okay, of my food, of the pot, whatever it is that I may be, making. I use this for rice. If I'm making rice, especially black rice, I will be using this, okay? So épices, like I said, is just a whole lot of spices. Let me tell you what's in here. So there are different types of peppers. You have your red pepper, your green pepper, you have your yellow pepper, all different color peppers in there. You also will have your habanero peppers in here as well. And I normally have thyme, so I will put thyme in here. There's parsley, there's green onions, there's garlic cloves, right? We're not gonna use the powder, garlic cloves. And then what I do is I put it in a food processor. All right, I put it in the food processor. I let it, grind up, being chopped up, and then this is the end result. It makes your food taste amazing. I cannot stress that enough. So good, so good. Normally people don't use it in white rice, but just last week I was making white rice. I put it as the base of my white rice, and it was so good. What ended up happening is that little specks of the épices, the spices, was all throughout my white rice, and it just made the food taste so good. All right. So if this is something that you're interested in, that you want to know more about, let me know down in the comments below, and I can tell you how I make it. But this is something that you could literally either Google, or you can go on YouTube, and there are tons of recipes for épices, and there are tons of recipes for pickles as well. Okay. All right. Let me find something else. Oh, here's another one. This I really like. This is arugula. All right. One of the things that I really encourage people to do is at least have a serving of fruits and vegetables every day, so that you know that you're getting in as many nutrients as you should be getting in. So arugula is something that I can have every day. I absolutely love the distinctive taste of arugula. It's so yummy to me. So normally I will put banana peppers, okay, and some chopped onions, all right, on my arugula, salad. So that's what I normally like to eat. And I try to have it every day, so I know, like, okay, I've gotten in my serving of a vegetable for the day. If I'm not eating arugula, then I might have broccoli. If I'm not having broccoli, I might have Brussels sprouts. Those are normally my go-tos. If I have any other type of vegetables, it might just be in the mix of the pickles like I showed you earlier, or something I just may be trying out for the day. Another item in here that I wanted to show you is this. Okay, this is cod liver oil. Okay, now I normally put this in some seltzer water, and I just drink it like that. And honestly, I don't taste it. Some people say they don't like the taste of it. It's horrible. I don't taste it. I really don't. I don't taste it when I put it in seltzer water. So that's what I normally have. I have a serving of this every day, unless it's a day that I really just forgot to have it. But I do try my best to have it every day. And this is really, really good. Let me tell you, the first year that I started taking this consistently was the first school year that I did not call out of work, because not once was I sick. Okay, as a teacher, I'm constantly around a lot of children, a lot of people, staff. Not once that year did I have to call out because I was sick. And I'll tell you why. Because this has omega-3s, and it has tons of vitamins. It has vitamin A, vitamin D3, and a lot of the vitamins that are in here helps to boost your immune system. Okay, so let me tell you, this right here, Listen, you have to get some cod liver oil, okay? It is really, really good. If you know of anything else that boosts your immune system, okay, like elderberry or anything else, share it with me in the comments. I would love to know. I'm always up for looking for new ways and new things to help boost my immune system. I mean, it only helps, right? So why not try it? I wanted to also show you this. If you have kiddies at home, I'm not really such a big chocolate milk drinker, but once in a while I may be in the mood for this. But I really like this particular brand. This is by Fairlife, and I will tell you why. So this one, first off, has 26 grams of protein with each serving. Okay, so as you know, with protein will really help to fill you up. I like to give this to my son, especially for his lunch, because I find that when kids are sitting around, especially during the summertime, they're constantly just, going back to the refrigerator, but it's just because they may be bored. But when I give him this along with, his other food for lunch, he's normally like good to go. And it's because it has a ton of protein in it. Okay. Let me tell you another reason I like it. It's because it doesn't have tons of like carbs in it. The sodium is not bad on this one. The calories is not bad. And it has tons of vitamins in it. Let me tell you what it has. Vitamin D, it has calcium, it has iron, potassium, vitamin A, vitamin B12, right? Which really helps out in terms of energy. Magnesium, zinc. Really, really good chocolate milk. And it's so tasty. So tasty. It's really, really good. All right. So that's something that you might want to, buy for your kitties. And is there anything else I wanted to show you? Oh, let's see. Oh yes. Two more things. I wanted to show you these cherries. Cherries are just so, it's so good. I can't even begin to tell you all the different benefits of eating cherries, okay? Amazing. One of the biggest ones, though, that I remember that's usually off the top of my head is that it's really great. It has a really great amount of antioxidants, okay? And if you know anything about antioxidants, it really helps to slow down the aging process. So if you're looking to have, beautiful skin over time, you might want to get yourself some cherries. And like I said, there's some other amazing benefits to cherries. I was just looking at a post on IG the other day, and someone had listed all the different benefits. And there were a lot. There were a lot. So definitely get yourself some cherries. And the last thing that I wanted to show to you, okay, is this. This is seltzer water. Let me tell you why I really wanted to show you this one. Many of us are drinking soda that is filled with calories and sugars and things that are just not really helping your wellness lifestyle. It's not. Soda, I really can't talk about it. Soda just really should not be in our diets. It's just a big belief of mine. I know, I'm sharing my opinion here and you may not agree with it, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, if you remove soda from your diet, right? I really think that you're going to see some big changes. There's nothing good about soda. There's just not. Okay, so one of the things that I do with my kids is I will give them a mix of seltzer water and juice, right? Because at least the juice has less calories in it and I could give them less of it. So by the time they even have a cup of the mix of seltzer water and juice, they're not even drinking a full serving of the juice, which cuts down in half or maybe even more than that, the number of sugars that they're taking in. So that's one of the ways that you can sort of circumvent the whole, needing the fizz of soda, but at the same time wanting some sweets to go along with it. Just combine, juice along with seltzer water, and then you'll have your version of soda. But I would really, really encourage you to try to find a way not to drink soda. Once in a while, fine. Like if my kids are going to a party or something, I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'm not really such a big soda drinker. It's just not one of those things that, that I feel like, oh, I'll probably drink it at a party or something. It's just not my deal. I'd rather just have water. That's just me. But I get it. If once in a while you're having it, fine. But once in a while should really be like, I'm a toughie with this one. So if you ask me, I would say you should probably have soda like once a quarter of the year. So what does that mean? 4 times a year. But like I said, you're asking me, so I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you what I would do, okay? It's just, I don't like soda, as you can see. All right, so that's my RR, refrigerator review, okay? And that is it, okay? That is it for this video. I cannot wait to see you again in the next video. And if you have not liked this video, subscribed to this channel, have not commented, well, what are you waiting for? Okay, let's get to it. All right, until next time, bye.